Joining us now to react is James Carafano from the Heritage Foundation. James, what is your take on what needs to be done in order for this to be considered a victory?
Well, first of all, I think the president is exactly right when he said,
no,
I'm not in a hurry here, because I do think time is on our side. It's when you've got the maximum pressure campaign in place, the sanctioning, nuclear deterrence, missile defense, conventional deterrence, that really protects our vital interests. The president has time to let this play out. So I think he's right by saying we don't need to rush this, but he's also right in this. If this isn't about denuclearization, well, why are we doing this?
Yeah. You know, he's obviously using money to try and appeal to the Kim regime in the sense that look at what these other countries have, look what your kingdom could be. Is there a world where the kingdom is opened up and there's some sort of free trade, or ish, I mean, you know, compared to what it is now, but the Kim regime can still maintain power? Is that a realistic thing that could happen?
Yeah, I don't think that's nearly as outlandish as it might sound. First of all, look at where North Korea is. They are dead last. We do this index of economic freedom every year. North Korea is the least productive and economically free country in the world, maybe in the universe. So even if they have a modicum of growth, they will make incredible strides. Look at Iraq. I mean, look how far Iraq has come since the Saddam days, since the end of the war. Their economic growth is incredible because they were down so far.
Wait, let me stop you there, because there's a really big difference in that Saddam's gone. And with the Kim regime, I mean, obviously, there are a lot of human rights abuses. There are a lot of people in jail for no reason, you know, all that sort of thing. So could it be open? Because if there isn't a way for him to stay in power, obviously, he's not going to go along with it. So it's just how realistic it is it that they could make the transition with the same regime in charge?
And the answer is yes, because not only will a little economic freedom transform North Korea, but we do have a model for that, and the model is where they're going, which is Vietnam. Vietnam is not free. Their level of economic freedom is pretty low. Their level of individual freedom and liberty is pretty low, but they've made tremendous strides, and the regime's been relatively stable. So there actually are precedents for this, sure.
There are such low expectations for, you know, what the president is going to get out of this. At the same time, there were very high expectations after the last round. What's a conceivable get at this point? You know, like what could he walk away from with this in hand? Obviously, they're not going to get all the way to full denuclearization, and that's you know, some critics have already set the bar that, you know, oh, he's completely forgotten about that as even a goal. What do you think is a tangible walkaway?
Well, I'd be thrilled if we didn't give away the farm, and I would be happy if all they walked away with was an agreement to another summit. Now, what would be awesomely awesome?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if they just agreed to keep talking and they kept the pressure campaign in place, I think that would be perfect. What would be transformative and what would earn a Nobel Prize is when the North Koreans come to the table and say, we are going to give you a complete and verifiable accounting of all our nuclear programs, because that's the prerequisite for denuclearization. When they do that, then we'll know they're serious.
But that there's probably no chance of that. And even if they did, wouldn't critics just say, well, this can't be a complete list? I mean, how hard would it be to verify that?
Well, that's the point. Complete and verifiable, which means not only would they have to give a full list, but they'd have to give access so people could not start checking it out. It might not come this round, but I could see where it might come after a third round.
James Carafano, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.